Welcome to this week's Battle of the Sexes. How is everyone doing tonight? I am going to drop the link for my panel whenever they arrive. Guys, I don't know about y'all, but I just love my intro song. I'm not even gonna lie. Like it just gets me pumped for the day. Oh, hey, Real. I'm trying to drop the link, but it's not letting me. So hold on one minute, guys. Okay, there we go. I think now everyone can, you guys can see the link. Hey, Nita. Hey, Real. Click on that link to me, guys. Click on that link. So some of our panel members are going to be here a little later, but we are going to start with who we have today. Guys, today has been a busy day for everyone. Trust me. It's been a busy day. So I completely understand. How is everybody doing today? Is everybody feeling good, looking good? What y'all doing right now? Did everybody have dinner? I want to know what's going on with all of y'all. Watch my panel. Click on the link. Hey, Gray. Okay, so I got 8 thumbs up already. That's wonderful. Thank you, guys. If you have not clicked those thumbs up and you are in the chat, then please hit those thumbs real quick for you, girl. And if you can share out this live, then please go ahead and share out the live so we can get more people in the room to party with me and the wonderful Battle of the Sexes panel. Hello, Real. How are you today?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm going to give you my Royal Vanessa talk today.
Oh,
How are
I
you,
see.
kind sir? How are you doing?
I'm making it. I'm good.
Good. Good
Yeah.
video today.
Yeah. It was just something I just did.
For those of
I
you that
just
don't know, Real is he is a content creator by day and a rapper by night. So he done a rap video today and posted it today, shouting out content creators. So I definitely want everyone to go and make sure you check it out and support it. He mentioned some amazing creators. So, and if you're not connected to those creators, then please go ahead and check out their content and make sure you subscribe.
yeah, check it out, Shanita, because Shanita will really like it. I'm just saying.
I was
Shanita
like,
would hate
Shanita
it
gonna
actually.
cuss your ass out.
She will, but hey, it is what it is.
I'm like, Shanita is gonna cuss his ass out. Wait, so where is the whole panel? Real's the only one that clicked on
they
the link.
they all in
Dre
the
was
chat,
in
but ain't
there.
nobody clicked on the link.
I mean, everybody's in there. Hey, Mia. Okay, Andrea is still getting ready, so she coming. Y'all. She is coming.
Dre want to make a grand entrance like you do, V.
Oh yeah, clearly he has to be the last one on the panel today.
Yeah. Oh,
Nita.
Evelyn here finally. Look
I
at
thought she ain't gonna be impressed by your ass.
her. What's up, Evelyn?
Hello, Squidward.
Hey, Robin. Hey, boo. Yes, Robin, I got your message. I completely understand. Y'all, this is what is back in 2021. Are y'all ready for it? Are you guys ready to see what is back at Battle of the Sexes lives in 2021. I'm gonna show y'all. The wine is back in 2021 because Vee needs to be liberated to handle Battle of the Sexes conversation.
I might need to go get my wine because I feel like I'm going to be cussing somebody out tonight.
Dre said he's coming.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm be on my best behavior tonight.
What did you say?
Huh?
What did you say
What I say when?
in your video?
Oh, you're gonna have to look at it. You just have to look at it. That's it. She ain't seen it yet.
I don't know if you're gonna be happy with it.
It wasn't bad.
He shouted you out.
It was a shout out. Yeah. Yeah, I shouted. It was a shout out.
The rapper's back.
Yeah, the rapper Real Talk is back. Huh?
Yes, I feel like there's some BS.
Just after we get done with this live, go check it out. I mean, you'll like it. I'm pretty sure you'll like it. You know.
It's only 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's only 2 minutes long. It ain't that long.
Oh. How wonderful of you to join us, Harrison Family Vlog. Hi, Dre.
He's on mute. You're on mute, bro.
You're muted.
Sorry about that. Hi. So Robin gets a pass today.
Robin, she did say she was gonna be late. So.
What?
Yeah. There we go, Neil. There we go.
There's that whole it leads right into the topic. Because Dre takes a month off to settle some things in his life, and he gets blasted. But let one of the sisters say, "I need time for myself." Go ahead, girl. We got you, boo.
Nia,
not holding each other accountable.
You're gonna need it. It's gonna be a long night.
I'm gonna go get my wine. I'll be back.
Go get your wine. We'll wait.
Get your broom too. Get your broom.
I like that, Nita. She got M'd, and her background is all blinged out.
Yes.
And she's ready.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the witch's lair. I love it.
Those are her colors. It's a nice background. Okay.
I like
it's lovely. It's wonderful.
Like a Trini feel to it.
Y'all better love it. Shit. Amen. So, guys, let's get into tonight's topic, shall we? Because the men have come guns a-blazing.
What up, Neil?
Started already. So, tonight's topic is, why do women never hold themselves accountable?
Or each other.
Or each
other. Yeah.
Or apparently each other accountable. I'm going to let the men start this week's debate and let us know their thoughts as to why they believe that women never hold themselves accountable, nor other women. And then we shall respond after we are.
Dre, I'm gonna let you go first.
Oh, thank you for that. I appreciate that. Thank you. Listen, no, I just and I hope we don't get into too much of a heated discussion about this. I hope that everyone can be void of emotion.
Well, Logic ain't here, so it probably won't happen. Logic and Andre ain't here, so.
Well then.
But honestly, I really hope that we could just really have this discussion void of emotion and just let's have a real discussion about it, because anecdotally it seems like women have a hard time holding each other accountable to certain things that they're willing to hold men accountable to. And even even on the show, even on this panel, there's been times where you guys may not agree with each other and admitted to not publicly disagreeing, because that's something that you'll do in the background. So and that I don't understand, because then you'll call out the men in public for things that you disagree with, but then won't do it to each other. but you'll do it in private. So it just, I don't get it. I don't get it. And I'll start off there.
My only, and let me continue. My only issue with that is black women, y'all claim. I'm gonna do the if then comparison. If you are the leaders of the black community, then you should hold yourselves accountable because good leaders hold themselves accountable for their actions. So if you are the leaders of the community, you should be able to accept criticism and accountability. I'm done. I'll let y'all talk.
Who said we were? When did a woman say that they were the leaders of the community? Thank you, Dre, for sharing us out.
Oh, I got you.
Black women say this all the time.
Yeah.
They are the leaders of the black community.
Okay.
Of the home, of the community, of all that.
Yep.
Nita?
I won't do it.
Okay, well, I see that. Okay, witches. Hold on. No, yeah, she froze, but okay, I'm not gonna cap on her then because she froze. I was gonna say something.
Okay, so I don't believe that women do not hold themselves or each other accountable.
But we say it in public.
In public.
Yeah. Because you guys admitted to saying that you guys will check each other privately. But if somebody says something publicly, you guys won't do it. But then you guys will do it to the men. Easy.
But I think that we do that to our men as well, though, to be honest. So say, for instance, if I'm in a relationship with someone and my man does something wrong in public that I don't necessarily agree with, you know, I'm a have to have his back publicly with everyone there. But once we get home, unless he's like real wrong, like completely wrong. But then once we get home, then I'm gonna tell him exactly how I feel. And I feel that women kind of do the same thing to other women. So it's kind of like, oh, I didn't like that you did this or handled it this way. You should have done this. Or girl, you were so wrong today. You need to call this person and apologize or whatever. I don't think necessarily that it has to be done in public. Why does it have to be done in public?
Because it honestly, like, bad company corrupt good morals, right? So if you're out with your friend, right, and she's acting a straight fool, and you know that does not represent who you are as a person, right? You're not going to tell her, listen, you need to stop, knock it off. And if she's like cutting up in front of everybody, not say anything to her, you're going to wait till you're in private.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like,
I'm gonna wait till we're in private. I mean, that's just how I handle situations, but that's just me because I don't like the whole drama thing or, you know, like a big blowout publicly. I'd rather handle it privately. So that's just me, though.
All right.
But they're still being held accountable. It's just that they're not being held accountable in the way in which you guys would like them to be held accountable by it being a public statement.
Shanita?
Well, giving your example, Harrison Family Blogs.
Yes.
I think in that situation, women do call it out. Girl, no, chill out. You're doing too much, you know, and try to de-escalate the situation. If she's just out there, you know, doing and all of that, we'll try to de-escalate the situation. And then we'll go back and have another conversation once everything is calm. Why was you doing that? What's wrong with you? What's going on, girl? Why you acting this, that, and the third? In that situation, that from the example that you gave, women do hold each other accountable publicly and privately. It's just in the way that we do it. And when you want to call somebody out or hold somebody accountable, you have to also think about the relationship that you have with that person.
Mm.
If me and V, we're close and stuff like that, and let's just say for the sake of this conversation, I'm showing out. She's not say to me right then and there, like not even showing out, but if I do something that she doesn't agree with or it messes up whatever, she's not going to be like, girl, no, you need to do. In given the situation and the circumstances and our relationship, it's going to be handled privately amongst women, amongst adults, because we're close like that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let me ask you a question then. Let me give you a scenario. All right. You guys are out, right? At the club, right? And you're with your girl. And your girl sees a dude that she was talking to at the bar, just having a conversation with another girl. Your girl goes over there and she tells you, I'm about to go and snuff this dude. Right. And you guys are like, nah, don't do that. Nah, 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 nah. But she's like, nah, he's not going to disrespect me. And he goes over there and, she's popping off. Who's this B? Blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I'm just having a conversation. And then she snuffs him and he retaliates. Who gets checked first? If you were there, who
by
were you
the
talking
sounds
to
of
first?
things, it kind of sounds like he was in the wrong in the first place. I love y'all, but I mean, that's her man. Wait, hold on, is that her man?
Nah, somebody she was talking to, like they were getting to know each other. She's very fond of him, but he just happened to be at the bar having a conversation with somebody.
And she went up to him and said, "Hey."
No, she went up popping off. Who's this B? She snuffs him. He retaliates. Who gets checked first? By you guys. Like you girls are there. You see this happening, right? Who do you respond to first?
Could you give me that scenario again? I wasn't paying attention.
Man, you was paying attention. You just don't want to say what you really want to say. Go ahead.
No,
Give
no, I wasn't.
a scenario
And
again, Dre.
Andrea just joined. Andrea just joined. So could you
Scenario again? All right.
give that scenario again?
one last time. So
Ladies are out at the club. All right, having a girls' night. You're out at the club. Hanging out. All you girls are cool. You're at the club, drinking, dancing, all that stuff. And when your homegirls looks over at the bar and sees a dude that she's talking to, right, having a conversation with another girl at the bar, right, and she tells you guys, nah, I'm gonna go confront him, blah blah blah. He's not gonna disrespect me, all that stuff. And she goes over there, she pops off, who's this B, all that stuff, and then she snuffs him. After she snuffs him, he retaliates. Who do you guys respond to first?
Well, at first I'm make sure my girl's okay.
Say that again.
At first I'm gonna make sure my girl's okay. That's just me, because I came to the club with her. We don't leave nobody behind. So first I'll make sure she okay, and then I'm gonna make sure what's going. Well, let me figure out what's going on, and maybe we need to get out of this club.
That part. Because was he very clear in where their relationship stood? So is he openly still? Because if you're serious about this woman and then you don't kind of let her know, oh, I'm going out tonight with another woman.
you see what's happening here?
They proving our point, bro.
They sure are.
They're proving our
it's
point.
just all about communication. No, this just shows that men are very bad communicators.
Yeah,
it's all about communication. Like if we're not together, we're just dating. That's fine, right?
You deserve to get snuffed.
But I've had guys that I've dated and I've gotten a phone call to be like, oh, by the way, I'm going out tonight, but this person's going to be here because it's a female. Out of respect for me, you're going to let me know what's going on. So if someone else did come and say something, it's like, oh, okay, no, know what? I already knew, right? I already knew. There's no reason for me to pop off. But if you're acting shady and doing shady stuff and you in a club with another chick, and you didn't want to tell the woman nothing, then yeah, I don't care. I ain't checking my girlfriend. I'm checking the man. I'm checking the man to be like, yeah, what's going on? What's
And
the
I'm gonna tell my girl he ain't worth it. Let's get up out of here. And we ain't doing the club acting stupid. We ain't ghetto.
Agreed with Andrea.
We ain't
Okay,
ghetto.
so Shanita, what's your answer, Shanita? Who would you check first?
First, I need some more background. Why was she popping off on him in the first place?
No, because she saw him at the bar having a conversation with another girl.
That was the background.
Well, I didn't get that background initially, so that's why I'm asking, what's the background?
Yeah.
He said it twice.
Maybe my internet went out and I didn't hear that part.
Her signal was out.
First time I wasn't paying attention. Second time it could have been my internet. So this is why I'm asking for clarification.
Okay, so what's your answer though?
So she has every right to pop off. Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah, she has that right to pop off.
So does she have the right to hit him? That's the question.
Oh, is that what snuff means? Snuff
Yeah,
means
snuff
hit?
mean.
Yeah.
Yes. What you thought snuff meant?
Oh,
I don't know what
thought
that
you
means.
meant snuff as in like arguing.
Yeah, we thought it was arguing. We don't know.
No.
Violence, a real physical punch. Yeah, violence is a bit different now.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if she pops off and hits him, I'm gonna help de-escalate the situation, and try to separate them. Maybe say my 2 cents as well, and say, you probably deserve that and all of that. But I'm gonna have to de-escalate the situation and remove her from that area.
Respect. Okay. All right. But that's a vastly different answer than the other two ladies on the panel.
Yeah.
Because Kennedy V's position seems to suggest that he deserved to get that treatment.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, I didn't know that you meant hit, a physical hit. So I did say that when it came out that we're talking about a real physical punch. No, that's too far, right? And I agree with Nita. You kind of be like, well, what the hell? Why, why did you do that? Why did you hit him? But at the same time, I'm still check him too, though, because what are you doing here with another woman? If you're serious about my friend and she had no idea about it.
Well, how do you know that they were in a serious, like, how do you know the lady that she was talking to was somebody that he was like trying to kick it to? What if they happen to know each other as childhood friends? They saw each other in a club. They're sitting down having a conversation.
Let me tell you something. Men are very open when they've got absolutely nothing to hide. The moment you're doing something shady and you know that the woman is going to take it the wrong way, you don't say anything as men. So my thing is, why does she not know about this? Why does she not know about this meeting?
What I'm saying is, wait, so he's not allowed to go to the club?
Regardless of whether it's a friend or not, or whoever she is, that doesn't matter. What matters is your line of communication towards my girlfriend.
So the same scenario can go if he's walking through the mall and he happens to be a Foot Locker and he sees somebody he knew from back in the day and he's standing by sneakers having a conversation. It can go the same way.
So now we're talking about you're just out. You wasn't actually going out to meet this person. This person happened to be there.
Let's say we don't know that. All we know is that your friend sees him at the bar having a conversation with another woman, and she gets upset and goes over there and starts popping off. That was a scenario.
Then we go over there and de-escalate the problem. I go over there to my friend and say, "Let's go, girl, because this ain't worth it." And we can deal with that when you get home with him. Okay, we're not gonna have no problem and fight in no club. We ain't doing that. We too grown for that.
Mm-hmm.
See, this is the.
If it was on, I didn't say it was Andrea Lynch. It'd be holding the button. Okay, it might go down when I was in my younger days. I'm grown now. Okay, I'm just saying, because I'm trying to ask you anyway.
Yeah. I mean, if the guy tells me that there's nothing going on, I'm like, okay, cool. And I will go and tell my friend, look, he said there's nothing going on. This is the situation or whatever. But to be honest, the people that I know most likely are not going to be in this type of situation. And they're not going to just pop off and pop somebody. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to go, they probably are going to go up or make their presence known that they're right there looking like, hey, hi, how are you? You know, but they're not necessarily going to do, you know, the crazy.
I only asked to see, right? Who would you guys hold accountable first? Would you hold accountable the man who retaliated after getting punched in his face, or will you hold accountable your friend who threw the first punch?
The man, because as a man, you should never put your hands on a woman, no matter how hard of a punch she throws at your ass.
Oh, okay. Whoa. Now, my question is this.
You know what Auntie Whoopi said?
Time out. My question is this. So it's okay for a woman to hit a man then, right?
No,
Since you want to hold the man accountable
I didn't
first.
say that, but I'm saying a man should never turn it, no matter what. The woman is definitely weaker than the man. So
let me tell you something.
Should never raise his hand to hit no woman back.
Let me tell you something.
Regardless,
I tell my son every day to walk away. Every day.
Yeah,
every
way.
You understand? So I don't condone hitting women. All right, but don't train. I have to say this passion to you, ladies. Do not train your sons to get hit by a woman, right, and then walk away. Don't do that. You're emasculating him. You can't do that.
You want him to go to jail for domestic violence?
Right.
He should go to jail for domestic violence.
Not in charge on him either.
You guys. Oh, you know what Auntie Whoopi said? Let me tell you what Auntie Whoopi said on the View. Okay. Auntie Whoopi said that if a woman is prepared to hit a man, she better be prepared to get hit back. Period.
Hey, I'm torn. I'm a little torn. Okay, I'm keeping 100. I'm gonna tell my son. I tell my son don't hit, but at the same time, I don't want him to have a domestic violence charge on him either. You know, sister's gonna call him popo on him. No, I don't.
Someone else will.
And who else will call on him? So I'm just trying to. So I tell my son, look, walk away. Call your mama. I got this.
My question is this: Why are you still gonna go check the man first because he's not supposed to put his hands on a woman, but she put her hands on him first? Why you don't check her first? Because she instigated it.
I don't need to check her first because I'm going home with her, so I can check her in the car. Okay, but
that's the whole point we're talking about,
He should never,
exactly. That's her point.
He should never, as a man, put his hands on
a
woman.
But
let's do it
because now what's going on? What's going on now?
Brought up the
a man just did that, right? And everyone else is going to fight. Let's be real.
He brought up if then. If she did not hit him, then he would not hit back.
Exactly.
So at that specific situation, the person that you need to hold accountable first is Shorty who threw the first punch.
Yeah, but
you can get upset with homeboy.
Yeah, talk about this situation.
Here's the thing, and I'll give you my position. I do believe that men should not hit women. All right, I believe that, and I firmly believe that. You know, I heard a comedian once say, "I won't hit a girl back, but I'll shake the mess out of her." Right? I laughed at that point. I can't say I condone that either.
You can. However, I mean, you don't have to shake her, but you can control. Like a man can put his hands on her shoulders and her arms down and keep her restrained.
But you realize what happens in most cases than not. That only empowers the woman to keep hitting. It does.
She's not gonna hit. She can't hit if you holding her hand.
Man, once he lets her go, once he lets her go, she's gonna go back swinging. That happens a lot. That happens a whole lot. So it's okay for her to keep hitting on this man, even though she knows he ain't gonna hit her back. It's okay for her to keep hitting him. That's okay?
No,
I'm asking V that because.
But it's okay for a man. So y'all gonna tell me if y'all have son. Well, Dre has sons, and real, if you ever get a son, are you trying to tell me y'all gonna teach these men that if a woman hits you, you gonna punch her back?
No, I'm not gonna teach my son that, but I'm gonna teach my son don't be no fool either. I'm a damn sure teach him that. I'm gonna tell him, look, if you run across any woman like that, first of all, try to get away. And if she keeps attacking you, then you got every right to defend yourself.
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna teach him that.
Mhm. Or you know what?
I disagree
You
with that.
give a strong push to the floor and walk away. Like
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
don't
you
keep
can
it.
give her a strong push,
Yeah, you could give her a push, but
but you should never put your hands on a woman.
How is okay? So how is you pushing a woman down, not putting your hands on a woman? That's the same shit.
Same thing.
But
You're
you,
pushing
I
her
tell
back.
my son, if he's gonna put his hands on a woman, it better be in protecting himself and not be. I don't want him to have a domestic violence charge. Okay, that
I
shit
feel
gonna
you.
be hard to get off. Okay, and he a black man. I don't care what you say. Okay,
Yeah.
sometimes you just gotta walk away.
Mhm. He's gonna walk away and he's gonna get in another situation with another woman hitting him, and he's gonna keep walking away. There's got to come a point where a man should be able to stand up and say, if you put your hands on me, make it very clear, you ever touch me, be prepared for me to retaliate and defend myself.
Yes, yes, I tell him that. Yes, but that's the last resort. I don't want him to be thinking. I don't think it's okay for a man to put his hands on a woman. And at the same time, is if he's defending himself, yes, I want him. I don't want him to be putting his hands on a woman, and I think it's wrong. But if she trying to hit him and he's walking away, yeah, come on, you know.
Right.
But it's a whole lot of situations that I want to keep my sons away from. Okay. And let me tell you something. 10 out of 20, if that lady is cuckoo for the Cocoa Puffs, you already know she violent. And I tell my son, if she cussing you, calling you out your name, she don't respect you. Leave her right away. It ain't nothing's gonna end with that relationship. It's gonna end bad. So it's signs that say it's red flags. And I tell my son the red flag. Is she masculating you, calling you out your name, calling you every name in the son of the guy? Just leave. She ain't no good. Because she don't respect you.
Why are you still there if you get beat up on in a relationship?
But here's the thing. If we teach them, right? If we teach them things like, don't you ever put your hands on a woman, even if she hits you. Now we're sending conflicting messages to him.
Mm-hmm.
I tell him to defend himself, okay? But let me tell you something, and that is, and we don't have extensive conversations because I'm a victim of domestic violence. So we don't have extensive conversations, okay? And he knows, and his father have talked to him too. So I feel like I have gave him every tool that he can have and he can learn and the signs of a woman who's crazy. A woman gonna show who she crazy in 3 months. She gonna tell you, you gonna see the signs that she ain't right.
I could find out they're crazy in 2 weeks. Like,
yeah, me too.
Sometimes people, you know, sometimes I'm just saying in 3 months you're gonna know what kind of person she is.
Listen, men in their 30s, right? It doesn't take a lot to see red flags.
Well, he's only in his 20s, so I'm just saying I take 3 months, but he's only in his 20s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I just think that at that specific in that scenario, V, the first person that needs to be checked is your friend, and then say, and you shouldn't be hitting any girls in the first place. Like, you shouldn't be hitting any girls. But then she's got to understand in that situation, not in private, but in public, because it happened in public. You don't do that because then you risk yourselves being hurt too. Period.
Yeah, because I feel whatever is done in public should be checked in public. So
not always.
Yes, always. Why not?
No. I'm not gonna check my girlfriend in public in front of cameras, in front of everybody named mama. I'm not gonna do it. Period. I'm gonna check her when we get home, in the car, or all that. I'm not doing that because matter of fact is you don't know how her mind state is. She can act crazy on you. I'm just being.
She's not your friend.
She's not exactly.
It's plenty of women who's been a hothead and she had one crazy on me, but at the same time I had one crazy on my friend. But at the same time, I'm not gonna check my friend in front of company we don't know.
This is why y'all got that thing that y'all do not hold each other or yourselves accountable because y'all don't ever do it in public. Ever.
All the time we hold each other accountable, but we just not gonna do it in front of people we don't know.
I just said that, Andrea.
Like to tell us we gotta hold each other accountable in front of a kind of company we don't know. Who is you? You ain't nobody.
People should be held accountable at any specific moment.
Well,
yes.
I feel like I'm not holding my friend in company that I don't know, and she don't know either. Period.
Yeah.
Period. I'm not doing it.
It's
Shanita
girl
has something to
code,
say. What's up,
as Robin
Shanita?
says.
To answer the question, the woman should be held accountable for putting her hands on him. So, also, she has her reason for why she did it in the first place. I'm gonna try to tell her before she gets started. No, sister girl, don't do it. It's not worth it. It's another way. It's another option. You don't have to go about this way. But in the same breath, she is her own person. I can't make her do what she doesn't want to do or what she does want to do. So if he calls off, and hits him, okay, now I have to handle this situation. Again, I'm going to have to de-escalate the situation. But I'm also going to get on him too because he is a trigger for her to react that way in the first place.
He didn't even know in the scenario. He didn't even know she was there. How is he triggering her? And he just sitting there having a conversation with a woman.
Well, did he know he
I was interrupted. This very same thing we talked about last week.
I haven't interrupted anybody today, but okay.
That was me.
Did I say any names? Did I say any names?
Ooh, Lord.
Okay. So,
But go ahead.
And I'm being interrupted again. I'll mute.
No, my interruption was a question in direct response to what you were saying. I wasn't interrupting you to overtalk you, but to bring clarity to it. And that was it.
An interruption nonetheless. Agreed?
It definitely was an interruption.
Thank you. So, does anyone else real Harrison Family Vlogs?
My only thing is this: like, everybody has a reason to do something. So why isn't it different for a man? His reason for hitting her was he got hit. So his reason then was she hit me, she got hit back. So the thing, never mind. Go ahead. What's up, V? What you got?
No, I was just gonna say, but if the cops show up, who do you think going to jail?
The man going to jail, without a doubt. We know this already.
And that's because of accountability.
Yep.
That's because men are stronger than women, technically, and they can do more damage. Sorry, Shanita didn't finish her point.
A woman starts to fight, right?
The reason why it's a trigger in the first place is because she was already mad. Whether he knows that she was there or not, she was already upset, giving, whatever situation that they've had or disagreement that they had in the first place. Because like I said, that's why I needed more context. Other than she just showed up with another girl. There's a reason why she's mad. It's not just because, oh, he with another girl, I'm finna go da-da-da-da. Like, there's more to it. So that's why I said I needed more context. Like, what is the background? Because women are just popping off because they see someone, grown women, are not just popping off because they see another woman with a man that they may be dealing with or have dealt with. So anything can be a trigger. I'm not saying that her actions are justified, but it is a trigger nonetheless. Whether you want to agree or not, it's still a trigger nonetheless. Any little thing can trigger anyone. So it's not just women. Anybody can be triggered by anything.
That's true.
But who's responsible for the trigger and how they respond to it, though?
So that's the thing too. That's also a thing too. Is she has the responsibility to react or not react or to hold herself. But triggers are still triggers nonetheless. Everyone's still accountable for how they react to certain things, but not everyone has that capability to choose to not react in the way that it should be reacted to under certain circumstances. So can I get to my can I answer the question? You're going to keep answering questions, asking questions like what?
Shanita, keep on, Shanita. Go ahead. Go ahead. Witches need to speak for a long time anyway. Go ahead.
This last week, you guys were talking about, can the man talk before y'all interrupt him? Why y'all gotta interrupt him? And I'm talking, and I'm constantly being interrupted. And for the life of me, cannot understand why. So, do you want me to be quiet right now? Or do you want me to speak?
Speak.
Oh, don't worry, Derek. I'm about to address it, bro.
So, like I said, She is still held accountable first, but he also is held accountable as well. Whatever history that they had her go and say or do whatever it is that she wanted to say and do. Still, this is not enough context for me to give you a clear answer because there's more to it than she just seeing him in a with another girl. Period.
What's up, Dre?
Can I go?
Yeah, you can go.
Okay. So triggers, right? Let's say there's a history because in the scenario that I gave, I was actually pretty clear in the scenario. What you that case study, that specific situation, really is all that you needed. We're trying to add context in hopes that we can absolve her from any fault. We try to create scenarios. There must have been something that this guy did to cause her to react that way. So that's what some women, not all women, do in order to help relieve that woman of accountability. But I digress.
I disagree, and I'm going to interrupt you. I disagree because men do the same thing. Men don't hold themselves accountable.
They hold themselves accountable. They be doing stuff all the time for people.
Excuse me, because we talked about this before, right? Let's not flip this back on the man. We're talking about women holding themselves accountable. It's about that. We're not talking about men right now. We can talk about men next week if that's what y'all want.
Yeah,
but we're talking about women this week.
Okay.
It goes both ways, and we can talk about both.
Can I finish? Is it okay?
Go ahead, Dre.
Thank you. Because I was just interrupted by the woman who I interrupted, and then I stopped. And then she told me I interrupted her, and she interrupted me. Okay.
I just wanted to give that same energy back to you from last week.
Last week. Listen. So if we blame the triggers, right?
Mm-hmm.
A woman who just got divorced, right, is devastated over the divorce. And she's sitting in Central Park in New York City. And she sees a couple holding hands, walking past, deeply in love. She gets triggered. She starts crying hysterical. Do we blame the happy couple because she got triggered because they were holding hands because she got a divorce?
No.
I'm sorry, I missed that.
It was just a trigger for her. I mean,
so in that situation, if that man is at the bar having a conversation with a woman, and the girl that he's seeing sees him having a conversation, and she gets triggered off that, that's not on him. That's on her. Because she don't know what they're talking about. He could be talking to her and saying, "Hey, I need your help plan." Yeah, she was a planner that he knew of, and say, "Hey, I need you to help me plan my anniversary." You guys, you don't know the situation, and if she's triggered by him having a conversation by another woman, all right, she needs to be held accountable to that.
That situation doesn't apply to the one that you gave us previously. That is not the same situation.
The trigger. You mentioned trigger. I didn't mention trigger. You mentioned trigger. So we have to, when we talk about triggers, we gotta talk about.
I also said it was situational, and that situation and the example that you gave before, two different situations.
It's not the same. No, it's the same thing. Because at first Dre said you don't know what the situation is. It could be anything you don't know. That was what his first thing was. What's up, V?
Okay, I can speak now. Thank you. I was going to say that this isn't very relevant to me personally because I'm just going to go up to my boo and ask him what's going on. Hey, say, hey, what's going on?
But in nature of the conversation, we're asking about accountability and whether or not women.
But we're talking about a completely different demographic of type of woman than what we are, I think.
That's every show that we do. We don't ever talk about it never affects us at all in any topic we talk about. We know this already. So this should be no different.
I know, but what I'm saying is I can't relate to or I can't give you the answer as to why those type of women do those things because I'm not that type of woman, nor do I associate myself with such women.
So if you
know what I mean?
But if you were, because you could be in a situation where you're hanging out with girls and then there's another girl that you don't know that well, but you know of, and she acts that way. What do you do? Do you hold her accountable for what she did first, or do you automatically go to the guy?
I'm gonna go to her first.
Dr. Bombay, what's up, bro?
What's happening?
What's
Can you
up?
hear me?
Bombay.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, you
Do I need
are.
to turn up?
Yep.
Yeah, I wanted to give my 0.02 cents on this one. In that scenario, where the woman goes up without explanation or anything and goes off on the man, hits him, and he turns around, he hits her back. In that particular scenario, my thinking is neither one of them should be held accountable, and neither one of them are accountable. And why did I say that? Right. All right. I always believe that whenever you look into a situation, you not only just look at what's happening, but always look deeply. Let's look at what we don't see in this particular scenario. For instance, let's take an average human being, right? In past times, I've mentioned where I tell people to do exercises where I say, clear your mind. Clear your mind of all thought, which is very hard to do because, we have this endless, ceaseless mind chatter with 60,000 independent thoughts each day. So it's very hard to quiet our minds. But if I say, close your eyes for 15 seconds, clear your mind, and wait for the next thought to pop in. Now, while you're sitting there waiting, you might get half of a millisecond of clarity, like it'll be blank, and then a thought will pop up. So then I always ask the question, who was waiting for the thought to pop up? Who observed the thought when it did pop up? And where did the thought originate from? Right. So what we're doing here, we're splitting ourselves into the conscious observer and that mechanism that is working outside of us, or actually working inside of us, and that's the mind itself. So the reason why I said all of that is because we have these mind mechanisms where they're learned pattern behaviors. It says, rewind. Most of the time, we're dealing on the frequency of mind. We're working at the level of these random thoughts. We're reacting to these random thoughts. These are things that are ingrained in us. Very rarely do we ever work as the conscious observer. Why? Because when we were born, that light got put out. We never ever practice that. We don't. Like you might pray or meditate for a period of time during each day, but do you walk around all day in conscious observance of your thoughts as they arise? And the reason why I'm saying all of this, I'm babbling, I know, is when you practice that, the more that you practice, the more you become the conscious presence, and the less you become the mind that's unbridled and uncontrolled, that's being triggered and being swept along like a wild river current, with its myriad of thoughts. So I said all of that to say, in that particular scenario, you have two unenlightened beings in a scenario. One approaches, not present state of mind. Another one is engaging with a woman, not in a present state of mind. The two clash and they have physical exchange. Neither is in a present state of mind. I had a Zen master ask me one time, he said, if a man walked up to another man, or he said, walked up to you and hit you with a stick, would you get mad at the stick? And I said, no, that's stupid. Why would I get mad at the stick when obviously it's the man that swung the stick that hit me with it, and that's why I'm in pain? He says, then why do you get mad at people when they come to you and they display violence or something negative towards you? And I said, because they're doing that to me. So I'm going to be, he says, are they the conscious observer? Are they in a present state of mind when they do that? You ever hear somebody say something like they commit a crime, like they shoot a gun or shoot somebody, walk in, they have, what they call it in court, temporary insanity, a crime of passion. You walk in on your wife with another man, you kill them both, right? And they always say, I blacked out. Here's the funny part. Actually, you're walking around from the time you wake up blacked out all day. Your mind, those 60,000 independent thoughts that are occurring each day, that's not you doing that. That's just happening. It's like a phonograph record. And on top of that, what makes it worse, it's the same 60,000 thoughts each day. Very rarely do you get a break where you're in a conscious state of presence, where you can look at something, see deeply into a situation, and be in total control. That's why I started out this saying, most human beings are not enlightened, and they don't walk around like that. That's why I said In that scenario, neither the man or the woman is at fault because they're not conscious and they're not present. So that's why I drew that conclusion from. And if you look at that situation, you look deeply, you'll see that. If one of the beings in the situation are enlightened, then you wouldn't have the scenario anyway. For if the woman is enlightened and she's able to look deeply into the situation, she will approach, and instantly her mind isn't nowhere on a low energy thought of cheating on me. I'm in fear. I'm going to lose. She looks better than me. He's going to take my man. I'm not worthy. I'm less than. All of these negative memes that are being generated by the ego. If she was a good practitioner of that particular science, or she had her own practice that would help strengthen her own consciousness, she wouldn't walk like that. And if she was enlightened, she wouldn't approach the situation that way. And in the inverse is this. The man would be the same way. If he was an enlightened, more enlightened or conscious being, he wouldn't react. If the woman walked up and completely slapped him, and I know when I say this, every man in the world that views this is going to be like, yo, you crazy. But anyway, he walks up, he slaps her. Instantly, he looks into her and he sees the emotion. She slapped me. Why? She slapped me because her ego is dominant. Her ego is having a reaction. She's acting in no other way that she can't think. She can't think outside of that. And that's why she's having this reaction. Maybe he's quick enough. He'll grab her wrist and he'll restrain her and he'll try to calm her down, but he's not going to respond with in-kind violence. That's not going to happen if you are a conscious being. That's why when I listen to people speak and I hear a lot of people walking around saying woke, I really hate that word. I just want to say.
Me too. I hate it too.
Woke is too close to awakened. And I'm going to tell you something. If you ever ran into a true awakened being, the one thing that you would never hear her say is, I'm awakened. An awakened being wouldn't say that because an awakened being does not associate themselves with being, status, or even being in that particular, it's hard to use English words to describe it, to even being in that state. Last point, I'm going to stop with this Zen stuff, but that's why
I have a couple of questions.
It's always in proverb that says if you're walking down the road and you meet the Buddha, kill the Buddha. And every time you say to people like, why would you murder Buddha? I'm like, look at what it's saying. It's basically saying if you are still identifying with self, you wouldn't see the Buddha outside of yourself. Therefore, if you see the Buddha, kill the Buddha. So like I said, what we need to do is understand this. Most of us are not consciousness, myself included. What we are doing as human beings, we're oscillating through different levels of unconsciousness. So a woman walking in thinking a negative thought, unconscious behavior. A man flirting with a woman, knowing he's involved, unconscious behavior. The two clash, violence, on more unconscious behavior. But yeah, both of them probably say, well, if I wasn't so woke, I would have stabbed you instead of punching you. Woke.
In the scenario, they were only having a conversation. That was a scenario. There was nothing about flirting. They was only having a conversation. But I do have a question. So if everything is a matter of enlightenment, right? Behaviors by those who are not enlightened cannot be held accountable.
Man, that's my thing right there. Hold on. Yeah. I'm gonna say this. What Dr. Bombay, what you were saying, I completely agree with. I'm not going against that. However, that's not gonna hold up in the court of law. It's not gonna hold up in the court of law.
Sorry, I'm
of course not.
Only because I wanted to say that Jayla's in the chat. That's the only reason.
I know. I seen her.
The answer to that is this: if you are, whether you're enlightened or not, there are laws of the land. So understand. Don't if somebody strike you, try not to go to jail in the course of all of that. And I know it's a very difficult. And also, if you are an enlightened being and you happen to be listening to this. That enlightened being, trust me, if you were, now this is going, I'm gonna get really crazy, but I'm gonna stop because it's gonna go into something.
But hey, because maybe let me say this real quick because you may clear this up as I say this. Because most of us aren't held accountable for our thoughts, we're held accountable for our actions. Not a matter of what we think in our position of enlightenment, but what we do. Right? I can say, I can think, I'm upset and I really want to hurt somebody. But if I don't go hurt that somebody, will I be held accountable?
Say that again.
Sorry. Can you say that again?
It's a connection, right? So if in my mind, in my consciousness, right, I say I want to hurt somebody, right? After reacting to something, I want to hurt somebody, right? But I don't, right? Then I should not be held accountable because I was able to control myself.
You still committed the act though in your thoughts. But I know that's not what you're asking. You still done. It's the same thing.
But so what I'm saying is behavior, right? Do we only hold somebody accountable for what they think? Because that's what it sounds like you're saying. We hold each other accountable for what they consciously do, but what they unconsciously do, or what they consciously think, but what they unconsciously do, they can't be held accountable for.
You're technically not responsible for any of it. That's just my opinion. You know, you go to the zoo,
that's
you
true.
walk in the
I agree with
lion
that.
cage, you get mauled by a lion. A lion is only acting of the level of nature that it's at. You know, I can't get mad at the lion. That's why, you know, well, we got to go put him down now. You walked into his cage. But I'm saying most of us we're just not conscious. And the sad part is that we're learning to be more and more unconscious at each turn. And then we teach our children that too. We tell them, oh no, you know, you're not no punk. They did what? You go, and don't get me wrong, some of it is you have to defend yourself. You have to also teach your child intelligence. Like, you're going out into a world, there's some cruel people out there. And you know, don't stand there and let somebody just end your life. But I'm gonna say this is the crazy part. a true enlightened being or conscious being at 100% pure consciousness would not even impede you from taking their life, because they don't identify with this corporeal existence. Nor do they have such a love for it where they won't let it go. They truly see all things as they are in the ultimate reality. I'm nowhere near that, and I know most of us are not. So that gets a little bit insane. But you know, most of us, we love our life, we love our car, our possessions, money, things, wealth, status, stuff like that. So when to reverse that, and I know this is probably next week's topic, when you see I see men all the time like that too. Like, man, if you don't even have to stare at the lady. If the lady smiles, does anything, like, they act like maniacs. They'll grab her, you know, yank her closer. What are you doing? Cursing her out. And when I see that, I used to get like upset, like, why is he acting crazy? And I say, no, he's actually, even though he has on a bulletproof vest, probably got 2 guns and a knife, but he's really weak and very, like, his ego is dominant, where he's just like, he's in fear of loss, or he feels inferior, that what he has is not enough to keep her. That's why he's acting like that. That's why when guys would, you know, come at me, they'd be like, you know, accusing me of that, I would just say, I ain't mean no disrespect. Like, kind of almost like I'm agreeing, like I'm admitting guilt. But I would just understand. I say, if I was you, and if I wasn't confident, or if I felt like, you know, she's a beautiful woman and she's going to slip away from me, I probably would be acting just like that. You know, that thing I said the other time with that whole, if their past was your past, their pain was your pain. Basically, when you meet people, you trade places with them. And when you do that, you can get a greater understanding looking at it from their side. So when I see guys act like that, overprotective, jealous, egotistical, crazy, I just go, okay, bro, you got it. You know, you humble yourself. Because I think to myself, say, I'm not a punk. It's not like, so I'm going to get in my car and drive away. I'm not less than a man. But he needs this in this moment. He needs to feel like he's the man to reassure himself, because he's not confident with his lady. So I'm going to, like, humbly bow down and be like, yeah, you got that, bro. My bad. I ain't even look at it. I'm just going to say that, you know, and give him that. See, with us, sometimes, you know, we like to, our ego says, no, I'm not backing down. I ain't no punk either. And next thing you know, guess what? Aggravated assault. I'm sitting down Central Booking on a Friday night. They got the AC cranked up to like -30 Kelvin. I'm eating a hard bologna and cheese sandwich, sitting there with a T-shirt on. Can't see the commissioner until Monday morning. Now, I could have just got my car and drove away, but I had to be a man, right? I had to defend something that wasn't there to defend. So guess what? You get a bro a pass, you just keep it pushing. So that's my thing. Like, we got to just practice conscious observance within ourselves and try to get that mind straight, where it's not always getting us in trouble all the time.
Yeah, but I agree 100% with that. But in regards to the conversation, right? I'm just trying to understand, like, you're saying that in that situation that I presented, no one should be held accountable, or no one should be spoken to first about it.
Well, let's say held accountable by who? Us, this panel?
No, by other women. So let's say the scenario was that a group of women went out, right? And as they were at the club, right, one of the girls that they were with, right, sees a guy she's talking to at the bar having a conversation with another woman. She gets upset and goes over there and starts to pop off, talking about who's this B you're talking to, and he's trying to explain himself, and she doesn't want to listen, and she snuffs him, and he retaliates. The question was, who will the women speak to first? Will they tell their girl, you hit him first, you shouldn't have done that? Or will they tell the man you shouldn't be putting your hands on no female?
Most definitely. If she's hanging with the right group of friends and they are a little more mature and more evolved. See, the thing is, if you were standing there with your great aunt and her sisters, they would probably instruct that young woman in a different way than her peers would. Like the elders would say, girl, there's not one ring on your finger. Are you really going to go over there and embarrass yourself and embarrass this entire family and take all your class down to 0 to fight in a public place? You know, or they would give her the right guidance. So in other words, she would be held accountable by those that are in authority or those that are in a place of respect to hold her accountable. So that's why I asked, well, who is the who? Yeah. And yes, and I would even go as far as say, since we're going to keep it simple, I'm not going to get all metaphysical no more, but yes, it should be some accountability for that. It would have to be. There's no excuse for that is what I'm saying. And which is a contradiction. You just gave a 10-minute reason why there's an excuse. By the way, that's not a cop-out. You can't like go upside somebody's head and then go, well, you know, I'm not enlightened, so I should be allowed. See, that's like a person standing in the courtroom telling the judge they're crazy. Well, how do you know you're crazy? Another thing, crazy people don't say they're crazy. You know, now you could say, I would accept from her if she said, you know, I just blacked out, because I can understand, like, you saw something, you snapped, you know, but yeah, you should be held accountable for that. You know, you shouldn't go around striking people. And like I said, hopefully if you have friends and they are your real friends, because, you know, sometimes we have the worst people as friends that will agree with anything we do. They'll say, yeah, you should have did that, drag her, do this. But see, the thing is, they're not going to do that time with you when you're setting up in court. Because see, once the anger subsides and all that goes away, a week later, now you're sorry. And I'm going to tell you a secret. I have a tendency not to get in the middle of domestic violence situations. I heard a couple of weeks ago we were talking about, well, you know, such and this and that. To call me and this. Let me tell you something. I've been down that road. Let me explain how that works out. When your sister calls you and you go running over there and you beat this guy down, look, by the time you get that cold bologna sandwich I mentioned, they'll be back home making love before the sun comes up. That's what I always say. Whenever they have she call me, like every 5 minutes, one of them will be calling me. I would say, what did you say to him? And then what happened? I would start asking questions. Then, well, I just called him. I called him gay, and then I juked him in his eye in front of his friends. Oh, okay. Now we getting to the point. So he just grabbed you by your collar and restrained you and shook you. And now you want me to come over there with guns blazing, you know? So like I said, before you jump into something, just start asking questions. Because then she'll say, oh, I guess I'm just being crazy again. Oh, I'm glad you figured it out. Well, you have a lovely evening, you know, and we're going on with that, you know? I always say, hey, get on the phone and be like, hey, man, you're sitting over here tripping. I say, I told you that she was crazy before I introduced you, but you insisted upon going behind my back and doing it anyway. So guess what? Now you're getting Dominican crazy. So what? You know, like I said, man, watch your back, you know? Ooh, what is this in it? A panel or an oil painting? Somebody say something.
Okay. So can I say something?
Go ahead.
Okay. So this situation have happened to me and my friends, okay? And we're not gonna be fighting the club. When this situation happened to me and my friends, we left the club. And I was like, we can deal with this at home. This is not important. It ain't worth it. He definitely ain't worth it. And we're not gonna be fighting in the club. So when I say I'm gonna try to defeat the situation already. When I go to the club with my friends, we looking out for each other anyway. At the end of the day, I'm not going to a club who my friends don't got my back and I don't have their back. Number one. So when we go to a place, I'm the oldest anyway. So I'm taking the club out. So my friend, it did happen to my friend. She was about to pop off, and we left because I didn't want the situation to escalate. So my thing is, when you say hold our friends accountable and hold women accountable, I did. We got out the club before I knew she was gonna pop off.
Can I give another scenario?
You're the elder.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna give another scenario. What if you guys are at a Black-owned restaurant, right? And what?
I know where you're going with this, bro. Go ahead. Now, go ahead. Let him say it. Let him say it.
Let's say,
go on, say it, bro.
Black-owned restaurant, right? You and a few girls, right? And they're playing some music, right? Some like hip hop music or whatever, some trap music, whatever they play in these young, yeah. Right. And then one of your girls want to get on the table and start twerking in the restaurant. Okay. What do you guys do?
I don't have friends who do that mess. I'm just saying.
I
I'm
mean,
older.
Come on. Just
No, but if you are in this position, I know you don't have these friends, but if you did, then what?
I'm gonna tell her to get down.
Stop doing that. You know better. We got some home training. Come on, man.
publicly or privately?
You gonna do it publicly or privately?
I'm gonna
I'm
go
right there while she doing it.
Get off of here.
So now, all right. What if she doesn't listen to you? She keeps doing it, and then the owner of the restaurant comes in and say, "Can you stop doing it? Knock it off. This is my restaurant. This is my establishment. All right. Stop twerking on my table because I don't want that here." So what's up? What's up, Logic?
Where the hell he been? Nigga, we thought, nigga, hey, listen, bro. I thought you was dead. Where you been?
Nah, I ain't dead. Y'all don't listen. I told y'all I got research papers and stuff I had to do. When I gotta focus. I gotta cut off all that social media shit. You know what I'm saying? I ain't like Harrison. I ain't no professor.
Wow.
Teacher, no stuff like that. I gotta focus to do my research.
Wow.
Hold him accountable.
Wow.
Sorry, Dre.
I'm just saying your scenario. Okay, I'm just being honest here. Your scenario is like when I was like 22, 23. I'm gonna be 46. We don't do stuff like that. And we just don't do stuff. The people I hang out with, we ain't got time for that.
Let's talk to your 22-year-old self. If you were 22,
okay, let's talk to 22-year-old Andrea.
What would you do?
I still ain't doing that because I got home training. My mama, we don't go to people establish.
Your friend.
Okay, my friends. Okay, but my friends are much older than me anyway, and I'm the baby in the group anyway. My friends are 15 minutes older. Okay, I don't think friends my age because they stupid. Okay, I just don't.
Andrea, so Andrea, let me ask you something. So you just said you got home training, so you wouldn't do that, right? That's what you said, right?
Yeah, I got
so you're pretty much saying no. So hold on. So you saying the women who were at that restaurant twerking and shit, now you're saying that they don't have home training, right?
I didn't have no home training, and I said that.
Okay, okay. That's all I wanted to know. Okay, cool.
Do that, and you've been raised by your mama. I know your mama have taught you better. I mean, I just tell my daughter, come on, we don't do that.
Well, Andrea, so in that situation, the restaurant owner comes in and checks the woman twerking on the table.
Okay,
you're there. Do you defend your friend, or do you tell your friend he's right?
Well, in that sense, I would tell my friend, girl, you know you was wrong. Now, come on, let's do the restaurant before he kicked us out of here. That's what I'm going to do.
Can I interrupt? Because I listened to it a little bit.
No, you
go ahead, bro. You ain't said. Yeah, you can. Go ahead. You ain't said nothing. You just got here. Go ahead.
I need more time for this.
I heard some of the most insane stuff I ever heard in my life. Check this out. Why do people not run up and punch Mike Tyson?
Huh?
Why do people not run up and punch Mike Tyson?
Because they know they're going to beat their ass punched out.
Okay, but what if Mike Tyson said, no matter what people do to me, I will not fight back? What would happen?
He probably get beat up.
People start chin checking him, right?
Yeah.
So the answer to the question that y'all ain't dealing with is the only reason that women hit men is because we told we're not supposed to hit back. Because if every woman knew that once you touch a man, he will touch you back, guess how many men would not get hit anymore? And like I said, now in 2020, men are caving these bitches' jaws in. And guess what? It's deserved. It's deserved. And let me finish. I'm gonna wrap it up.
Let them
it's
finish.
Deserved. And the reason I say it's deserved, because if you constantly tolerate a behavior, it gets to the point where you encouraging it. And that's what we are in our society now. We've been tolerating these women going and doing all this stuff, swinging on men, and then we'll fight the man that's doing that. We've been tolerating it, so now it's an encouraged behavior, and then the only way you're gonna stop it is a couple of them need to be laid out, and then you send a surgeon of them getting laid out. right, I'll go ahead and shut up now.
I don't agree with that.
Hold on,
Why you don't agree with that?
right quick, and I'm gonna say it back to Black. I don't believe that's the topic of conversation. The topic of conversation is why don't women hold women accountable? And that's all I'm gonna say. Continue.
So I feel you.
Bullshit. The whole conversation for the last 30 minutes been on that. I've been here that long. So quit capping. You know what I'm saying? And answer the title of the topic, this is why you cannot. Women would never hold themselves accountable because this is a perfect example. You see us saying that a woman that's swinging on a man and they constantly swing on the man, they constantly been doing this. They would never hold themselves accountable because Vee said herself, the police gonna come, guess who they gonna lock up?
I miss you, Logic.
Okay, so now the police,
that's not necessarily true.
you're not holding accountable. Men and women is not holding the women accountable. They would never hold themselves accountable.
But if you in domestic violence, they'll lock both of y'all up. I'm just saying it has happened. I'm just being honest. It does happen.
It happens. It does happen, but it does not happen as much.
Okay, well now in this new age, women are getting locked up with domestic violence too. Let's put it out there. That's the truth.
Yeah. Well, growing up, right, I learned a lot from a couple of people. One of the people I grew up learning from was Snoop Dogg. And it was a video where in this video, right, he was breaking up a fight between two girls. When the cops came, the girls pointed to him. When the cops came and was like it was his fault, and in the video they took him away. So Dr. Bombay said, I stay out of it because things happen, right? And Snoop Dogg taught me a lesson. In domestic violence situations, I will speak up, but I won't put myself in the middle of it. But Auntie Whoopi said, Auntie Whoopi is one of the people I learned from too. Okay, in a situation, it doesn't matter if you're male or female. If you hit somebody, be prepared to get hit back.
All right, I got
the logical thing. Period. You can't get any more logical than that.
I had one thing. So people said, everybody here saying right now that both going to jail, all that kind of stuff. The last interview I had on my channel, I interviewed a guy by the name of Fall High. In that interview, he went live on Facebook, and his kid's mom was assaulted, beating him down.
Yeah, I saw that.
Right. His kid's mom was beating him down. The cops came in the house. And you know who they removed? Mm-hmm. They removed him.
Probably the dude.
On his head, he got everything. So when y'all put like this, the whole topic of the conversation with the cops was not about he got abused. It was about get him out the house. If them roles was changed, and then the cops walked in the house and they said saw a lady with blood on her and black eyes, do you think that would have happened? So now, directed to the topic of the conversation, would never be self-accountability for black women, especially when black men encourage it, when black women encourage it, and the system encourage it. They know no wrong. Because I tell you this, and women that come in and try to physically hurt me, I will do my best to dab and dodge, right? But you got to realize it's some heavy-handed women out here nowadays.
Yeah.
You might take
like she can throw them hands too.
And I'm telling you, and I'm just saying, I'm like this. Look, I can look and tell Andrea how angry she get. She pack a good punch. So like me knowing that, right? I'm being honest. By me knowing that, would I put myself in that compromising situation? No. And it's not about taking manhood, it's about safety. Because if you look at these videos, you see a lot of niggas getting knocked out by women because they running around with this old school G code talking about don't touch her. Now she a beast, bro. She's not a woman. She's a rat. Treat her like a rat.
I mean, Elijah, let me see something. I ain't never put my hands on a man, okay? Okay, never.
Vee's face.
Never.
It's never. But let me tell you something. If he try to attack me, then we're gonna have some problems. Okay.
Amen.
I got 4 brothers and a daddy. I'd be damned if I'm gonna let a man put my hands on a man. I don't do that. I'm not that kind of person. It's because I'm a little rah-rah don't mean I'm like that when I'm in a relationship. Okay.
Amen.
I didn't say you be man. I just said it looks like you could pack a good punch. That's all I said.
They're just judging you, Andrea. They're just judging you on your passion, your amount of passion that you have.
Okay, and honey, me and him go round and round. We wrestle everything. I didn't even know how to punch. I didn't know.
And my point exactly. So that's all. It was a point made, and you just verified my point. We good. We good.
But he's a boy. I learned that when he was like 4 and 5 and 6. He's a boy. I need to make sure I know how to punch him in a good punch when he ain't listening.
Okay, but all you did was prove my point.
But I ain't never put my hands on a man. That's
shit. I said you put your hands on the man. I said exactly. But look, Andrea. Yeah. I said this. I said what you just validated. That you pack a good punch. That's all I said.
Yes, but that's because I had a son and I wanted to make sure that I know how to wrestle and tussle with him. But I'm not gonna do that to somebody who I don't love or who I don't care about. I'm not gonna put my hands on a man because when you put your hands on a man, you're gonna strike him and he gonna retaliate back to you. So I knew that. So why?
What's the problem then? It's a discussion. Then it's a closed case. Thank you.
Let's go back to the original question.
Violent woman. I'm not.
All right.
Let's go back to the original question. All right. As far as accountability is concerned, okay. If a woman was to do something like that first, right, and she happens to be like an acquaintance of yours that you guys happen to be hanging out with, that's why I gave that scenario. Will you guys hold her accountable first? That was it.
Yes, we will hold her accountable. Next.
Yeah.
Why do I feel like all of a sudden the love from Shanita is no longer there?
They changed the answer.
I'm feeling like Shanita isn't like she don't like me no more.
Well, I mean, the best thing she did was
it's because you got married, bro.
Yeah. Well, she did us all a favor by
got married. That's why. Yeah, she ain't. Hey, Dre, trust me on this, Dre. You did yourself a favor by getting married because nobody wants Shanita hitting on them. Okay, nobody. I'm just saying. All right.
Why are you always going after Shanita?
Hey.
Why?
I beat Shanita because he always showing out. Real is the type of man that I would have to always hold accountable on his bullshit every time he pop off at the mouth.
Hey,
Robin.
Hi guys. I've been listening to you guys. I've been listening to you guys in the whole car ride. Logic, I miss you. Don't ever do that again, okay?
Girl, I told him I missed him, and then he started talking, and I just felt like I should have just taken that right back in 0.8.
Right?
I was like, you know what? I'm done.
I was like, I miss you, Logic, and he kept talking like it wasn't nothing.
No, because I heard what y'all said. Y'all should have saw me on the highway on 202 racing that here. You know what I'm saying? To get his computer, boy. I'm telling you.
I wasn't racing, but I was listening to you guys. I don't really know like fully what the topic is or anything like that. I just heard about men hitting women, women hitting men, and you guys know like I'm not with it. Growing like when I was in my younger days and like early 20s dating days, I was the type of woman that always men wanted to hit on, like hit physically. Though my stature is very small and I'm petite, but I guess I trigger men. That's just what it is.
You must have a mouth on you. That's why, Robin.
I got a mouth.
It's not right either way.
My
but
mouth
you probably
is
got
not,
a mouth on you.
My mouth is not passionate. I'm not loud. I'm very soft. But I have a mouth and it gets under people's skin. Or I used to. My husband can deal with me. I don't have those issues anymore. Let's just say that. But I was the type of woman that Yeah, men felt like they
Husband puts you in your place.
I had to
It's
get
because
choked up. I had to get hit around when I was younger. And I never stayed in those relationships. I don't hit men because I understand men are stronger. I don't like, obviously I don't like to be in that predicament. So I would never do that to anyone. I don't agree that anyone should hit anyone. I don't think anyone, regardless of your triggers, like I don't believe that you should act on those triggers and hit anyone. So I don't know. Maybe I missed the whole conversation. But Bombay, you said something actually that I thought about, right? You said something about a man and a stick, and it reminded me of another story that I heard that I wanted to share with you guys to get you guys to realize, like, we do hold people, we do tend to trigger at or get our angers against the other person. And it was like about a story of, I guess, a man in a boat. He was in a boat and then the boat hit him. I don't know if you guys heard this story. A man was in a boat and he was rowing, and then all of a sudden, another boat slammed into his boat. And when he looked, there was another man in the boat. They got into a fight. But the same scenario happened in another time where the man was rowing the boat. A boat hit his boat and he was about to get mad, but when he looked, the boat was empty. So who could he get mad at? It's like, I feel like people, we just take out our anger on the person who's just in that scenario. It's just human nature. Personally, that's what I feel like. So for you to say, and this was going against what Harrison said, like you said, if there was a couple in the park and the woman, she just got into a divorce and she was so like, oh my gosh, I just got into a divorce. Look at that lovely couple. And she starts crying. I just feel like that's a totally different scenario than someone who's triggered.
I was addressing triggers. That's it.
Yeah. So I feel like triggers are like you can't compare that kind of trigger to the trigger that causes someone to hit someone to be violent towards someone. I think they're two different triggers. Honestly, that's just my personal opinion.
There's one definition for a trigger. How we respond to the trigger is different. We can't say that there's different types of, like, there's a different, like, a trigger is a trigger.
Not to interrupt you, but there's one definition for earthquake, but there's different scales on the Richter. So that's what I'm talking about. Okay.
But an earthquake is
there's different scales on the Richter that an earthquake can hit, and you don't want one of those 9-level Richter scale earthquake to get at you, but you can take a level 1, right?
Robin, so what I'll let you paint out. I'll let you judge based on that Richter scale with triggers.
I can't judge.
You have to, because you brought it up, right? So here's the thing. A woman is in a club, sees a guy she's talking to having a conversation with another woman, all right? That triggers her. Where on the Richter scale does that fall?
Robin gonna call that a passionate trigger.
Honestly, okay. Where are they in the relationship? They're just talking.
It's irrelevant. No. Listen to the scenario.
We don't know.
No, that's the problem.
Right, Robin, that's why I said we need a context, because it's not
listen.
I need a context because that's going to cause my passion.
That's irrelevant. It's irrelevant.
If I'm talking to a man and we are already there, we're already sexual with each other, and I see him talking to another woman, then all of a sudden,
do you know what the conversation is about? And that's my point, right? That's my point about triggers. The trigger is the same thing. How we respond to it is based on that Richter scale that you're referring to.
Exactly.
So what I'm saying is this. In that situation, Robin, we don't know the nature of that conversation. We just know that he's having a conversation with the woman at the bar, and the girl that he's talking to sees it. She's triggered. Okay? That's the trigger. Just like a trigger could be for a woman who just got a divorce and sees a couple and she starts to break down crying because that triggered her to make her think about her.
Okay.
The trigger's the same. It is. That you're referring to, I feel you. I understand.
Okay. As long as we understand each other, you know?
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all one of my triggers. One of my triggers when women try to make up definitions, like secondary definition, had their own damn encyclopedia and goddamn. No, I'm just saying.
When a man gets a long
just trying to say, all I'm trying to say is one of my triggers is when women they formulate their own dictionary. That's all I said.
That's not true.
You know, one of my triggers is when a man wants to give a whole dissertation about something that could have been said so simple. That's one of my triggers.
Okay.
My trigger is logic.
My trigger is all the males on this panel.
Hey. My trigger, listen, my trigger is witches. Evelyn.
My triggers are sea animals.
I love you all. Like you guys don't trigger me at all.
You guys don't trigger me. Nobody triggers me here. I don't have many triggers now, though.
Dre triggers me when he wants to complain about how he's being unfairly treated.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you another one of my triggers. Then since we've been open with each other, I'm just saying another one of my triggers is when another woman don't want to go against another woman, so she just said, "I agree with everything you just said." That triggers the fuck out of me. So,
Nita, do I agree with you guys every
for
single
real,
time?
I hate that.
I'm not talking to you, Robin. Robin, it's not at you. The dog that got hit by that car, they know they right above you. But trust me, the dog is not at you. That was directed to somebody. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, I don't know who that was directed to because I don't see nobody on the panel who does that.
You should know. Everybody know.
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. Andrea, do you know what he's talking about?
I have no idea because he ain't been here and I don't know what the hell he's talking about right now. I'm sorry.
Y'all can kiss my black ass.
You know, and definitions don't go right. We don't believe in that. I'm like, what a definition is to you might not mean to me. I might hear a different way. I might hear things different than you do. Okay, I'm just saying.
My point exactly. Thank you, Andrew. I love you.
See, that's one thing Andrea failed to realize that. Andrea failed to realize she's proving this man point the whole time.
I love her, man. She's the it can be whatever he want to be to me. Shit.
I'm sorry.
Everything don't mean everything don't mean what it means to you. It might be totally different to me. I might hear it in a different way. So I'm just saying, you guys, sometimes everybody ain't gonna hear what you say. They might hear it in a totally different way.
Hey, babe.
Okay.
That's very true, Andre.
Oh my God! See, and that's my other trigger.
I want to take a moment here. I want to give a compliment. Harrison Family Vlog. I really like your haircut, by the way. I like that little thing right there.
Oh, thank you. I need to get a fresh cut. It's been a week.
No, it looks good.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
He's stylish.
What happened, Nita?
Hey, Robin. Hey, Robin.
What, real?
Robin.
What?
You and Shanita. You and Shanita both need to watch the video I just put out today after this live. Because I shouted you out too, Robin.
What video is it? Because I watched
the only one I put out today.
You put out 15 of them. and on your video, you made a video that said the YouTubers, 16 YouTubers I hate, and you're actually number 3, 9, and 11 on your own list.
Thank you.
And hold up. And I'm gonna say one last thing. He is truly the king of content. Believe that.
Hey, no, listen. With that video. Hey, I didn't say I hated them. It was just 14 YouTubers, and I never said I was or was not any one of them. I knew I fell under some of those categories. I know it. I'm just saying. But Shanita fell under those 5.
Why did you say me and Nita though? Do we fall under those categories? Anyway, I digress. Anyway.
No, Robin. I ain't talking about that video, Rob. I'm talking about the one I put out today. Watch that one. The one I just put out today.
Tell me what it's called.
Watch that one later.
I just want to know if I saw it.
It's me rapping. I did the rap. I was shouting some of y'all out.
Okay, I'm gonna listen to it.
But Dr. Bombay put a video out today. It's very, very interesting.
Yeah,
I don't follow Dr. Bombay.
I put it on my community wall. Dr. Bombay. I listened to that video twice today. Okay, he really helped me.
Maybe I should follow him.
Thank you.
Dr. Bombay.
Maybe you should, Robin.
I feel like women hold each other accountable when they need to be held accountable. I don't think women just don't hold each other accountable.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Y'all don't do it in public. Y'all never do it in public. That's why y'all got that stereotype that y'all don't do it.
Why does that matter whether we hold the person accountable in person?
Why is it so important? She got to be put out in front of people she don't know.
Yeah, I don't understand why we have to
downplay somebody. She might come at you in a different way. She ain't gonna hear you.
Listen. If the issue is done in public, it should be talked about in public. Period.
Not necessarily everybody can communicate and everybody's gonna listen. Maybe if she will listen to me and I'm gonna get my point across if I do it behind the scene and she don't feel like.
Let me ask y'all something.
I don't understand why.
Andrea, let me ask you something. Let me ask you something. No, let me ask you. Let me ask you something. Okay, now I'm finna go a little extreme, but it's gonna prove my point when I go extreme with it. So if your girl, she got a gun and she finna shoot this dude in the head, are you gonna wait till y'all get in private to talk about don't do it?
Well, you know,
I'm not gonna let my friends shoot somebody.
That's my point.
Why do you guys always use different scenarios like that don't have to do with each other? They're different scenarios.
We got too much to lose.
They never come up with something realistic.
Who's trying to go to jail? Spend 15 years in the prison? Nobody.
I got a quick question though.
Listen.
So in these topics, right? We be talking about fictitious stuff or stuff that really we don't be knowing about, right? The people we talk about, we don't know them, right? So in this case of the which y'all talking about the man hitting a woman, if y'all not able to hold each other accountable in dialogue alone, how do you think that we would expect y'all to hold each other accountable when it really counts? You can't even hold each other dialogue on this panel.
But that's the thing. You're talking about holding each other accountable. I just said that women, we do not hold each other accountable. We do hold each other accountable. Y'all argument is y'all don't do it in public. But we hold, whether we do it in public or private, we do both. But when we do it in public or private, we still hold each other accountable.
No. What I said, even on these panels, in conversations that really don't even matter, y'all don't hold y'all self accountable at all. Y'all just literally say, you know what I'm saying, a woman can hit a man like that and he don't, you know what I'm saying, have the right. Okay, just let me finish. You know what I'm saying? So
let the man finish. Damn.
Look, check this out. It come out what I'm saying is in this. Yep, and goddamn old rainbow head up Dusty with her little facial expressions. But women don't even hold each other accountable on this panel at all. It be no accountability for nothing. Everything is a deflection, it's a distraction. No, this and this and this and this and this and this. The whole little man putting his hand on a woman situation, it was no accountability for the woman. And this is fictitious type shit. We just speaking just, you know what I'm saying, possible situations. If you can't do that on a panel with people that, you know what I'm saying, you really not even neighbors with, you think that, you know what I'm saying, we expect you to be accountable to your friends? Somebody who you know what I'm saying, you'll care about, you owe that blind loyalty to? No, you're not. And it's insane. Go with it.
I think that we do hold each other accountable when needed to hold each other accountable. I think the problem is, once again, a communication between the men and the women. It's a miscommunication. Whereas I believe it's not done in your liking or in the way you expect it to be done, or the words that come out of our mouth isn't exactly what the men want from us. And therefore, to you guys, you guys interpret that as us not holding each other accountable.
Right.
We do it in our own way, and it's okay. Like, guys are different. You guys do things different. We do something a whole nother way. It might not be out in the open as you guys want us, which I don't really understand why it has to be out in the open. I don't get it.
And sometimes you know your friend. If you know your friends, you know how they're gonna react to things. Okay, so sometimes if you got a friend that is a hothead, you ain't gonna come at her at a hothead. You're gonna have to come at her with a small temper and calm situation down. I'm just saying.
We you know one thing though, we never talk about holding ourselves as a group accountable. And no, I say that to say, like, I noticed there's a lot. I was sitting here thinking while everyone was speaking, and there's a lot of new trends, new age trends that we never dealt with before. Like, we're talking about people striking each other, being violent in public. Like, for instance, I'm saying this is kind of off topic. When did we get into this phenomenon where women will fight openly in public like wild hyenas, and then the guys will stand back watching it? Now, where I come from, when two women would fight, you know, the men would jump in and break it. They wouldn't even let it happen. They'll say, no, this is going to remove all of your class. We can't let this happen. We would jump in. Now I got these guys, these cheerleader men, that's the best word I could put, in the background, just filming it, watching it, cheering it on. Yep. And I'm like, I just be wanting to jump through the screen. All the Zen goes out the window and just grab them guys. Like, you know, when I see that. So we've gotten to a place where culturally, we're starting to accept these things where women are yelling in men's faces and being violent. Like I said before, in my city, now it's customary. Guys are just shoot women now. That's the new thing now. They're shooting women. They're shooting women in front of their kids, all this stuff. And I'm just like, so we as a group need to get back on track to, I'm not saying we got to, again, you know, my year 1955. We don't have to go all the way back that far. I mean, hell, can we just get it back to like 79, 80, 81, somewhere up in there, how we used to act and be as a group? So that way we don't end up on a panel having discussions like, is it okay for this? No, none of it's okay. And it didn't used to be. I don't know what happened. It's like we kind of just, we let go. I don't want to say morals, because when you get into that, people get into religion and beliefs. But I'm saying we just had a certain code of conduct that just seems to be gone. I mean, all across the board, even with, like I asked the question, if anybody on the panel is an educator, when I was in school, you know, we had like, it'd be like one kid in the class had with special needs or something like that, or had a behavioral issue. Now it's like 99%. It's like kids are jumping on desks, cursing out teachers, coming to class with a full pizza, talking on the cell phone. Dude, I remember having to write a 4-page essay for chewing gum. You know, so now is that where we're at now? We just give everybody a pass. Okay, all the kids are crazy, all the men are crazy, all the women are crazy. We're just going to go around and then we're going to have discussions. Or do we hold the whole group accountable and say, you know what, we need to decide what's going to be code, what's going to be acceptable or not acceptable behavior as a group. That's, you know, there should be no women fighting. There should be no women yelling and men hitting women, women fighting, men fighting. You know, all that stuff is it's insane. You know, we just kind of fell off. So that's the thing. What codes are we going to reestablish, or new codes we're going to invent to create some guidelines here? So that way, when we have a discussion, we'll say, you know what, based on our group, these are the guidelines. Is this right or is this wrong? Because if you notice, it'll just go around in a circle constantly, because we all have our idea of what should be or what should not be. But back in the days, I don't know, go back some years, like I said, it was just like, hey, we automatically knew what was right and wrong. We just had a certain way of being. Even down to our dress code, we was like, not going to go all into that with the sagging and the underwear and all. Come on, that was insane. You know, you was a man, you had a belt, period. Pants didn't exist without a belt. Now, I understand. I think we bought into a lot of this American freedom stuff, and you see where that toxic freedom has gone. Now you got people that feel like they can just go into the Capitol building. You got people that they taken the word freedom and made it say, like, I can do whatever I want, whenever I want, however I want, at any time. And I think we as a group need to pull back and get out of all of that insanity and decide amongst ourselves and our community, like, what are we going to do? What are we going to accept? You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, if they suddenly said, all of you guys can move to the northwest part of the country and get 4 states, and you get over there, what laws are we going to govern ourselves by?
You said a lot though. And the thing. Yeah. Oh, go ahead. You got it, Real.
No, go ahead. I was just gonna say that's the thing. Like nobody should get a pass. Like whatever one group cannot do, neither can the other. That should be that, and there should be no exceptions, no excuses, no nothing. Period. That's all I had to say, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah, and like I said, it's still layers to that conversation. And then you know what? This is the thing though. For what you to say to occur, it's gonna have to be some accountability. If you imagine have a conversation and you're trying to fix things in your community, and then it's some simple as, I mean, it could be anything. And then if you don't have people acknowledge that they are part of the problem, that's like talking to a wall. So the first step into any change is knowing that what you're doing is fucked up. You can't change nothing if you don't know it's wrong. So as far as the black community, they can have all until black people understand this one thing. They are their worst enemies, and they have to hold accountability to themselves. And if they do that, then you can start talking about problems and fixing it. Because it's just a quick example. I was having a conversation. I looked at that movie the other day. If you haven't saw it, American Skin.
Yeah,
I don't know if you saw the movie.
I want to see that.
Yeah, you got to look at American Skin. It's a pretty good movie though. But the thing is out of that whole thing, and I start walking to my neighbors and I asked them one question. I said, when you walk out your house and something was to happen to you, what's your odds of something happening to you? Is it by a cop or is it by, you know what I'm saying, a black man? And he said it depends on where I stand. But if I stay in the hood, the majority, you know what I'm saying, the odds of something happening to me will not be against the cops. It'll be against a black man. Yeah. Right? And but we sell a whole different narrative. Like, you know what I'm saying, you'll hear LeBron James get on there and tell me something. I wake up every morning and I got a fear that, you know what I'm saying, I'm scared to be a black man because I think the cops gonna keep me. This nigga stay in Calabasas. But see, we these narratives.
He can still have that fear. He can't. He can't have the fear. I'm just asking the question. He's still a black man. And how much money he has don't mean that he can't be shot.
Honestly, Andrea, I agree with logic with that point. I think once a black man starts becoming a star like that, Michael Jordan, I feel like they're no longer in the class of a black man. Like even white men love them, but not because like, oh, they're black. They don't even see that. They just see their stardom. Honestly, that's what I feel. LeBron James is loved.
See, forget the celebrities, right? And if everybody on this panel honest, and I'm gonna ask everybody on this panel this one question. What was the worst of the persons that did the most devilish shit to you in your life?
Say it again.
If I was to ask everybody on this panel, what was the worst of the person that did the most devilish shit to you?
A black person.
Black person. Definitely a black person.
Wait, I'm sorry. I live in Staten Island. I live in Staten Island. Listen, there's not. I've been put in a hospital. In the hospital because I was in a white neighborhood. Started drawing all. I went to a school predominantly white, and I had to run to the train station because they used to be lined up shouting the N-word. Like, so I guess it depends on where you live at and who you're around most.
Staten Island still like that?
Still.
Oh, I don't know nothing about no Staten Island though. But I can tell you,
I heard about that.
So if you ask me that, my response is going to be the most headache or the most fear I've ever experienced was being in white neighborhoods. Like I was comfortable with my own people.
But see, that's the thing. That's the thing, Dre. And that's why I don't really get too much into black on black crime and shit no more because really the most crime with what happens is between your own race or where you're at. Like that's just what it is. Like most people get killed by black people. Most white people get killed by white people. That's what happens. It depends on where you're at and who you're around. That's it. That's all it is.
And that's it. But the whole point of me saying that was that in order to neutralize the problem, start where the problem occurs at. You know what I'm saying? You can you can make the whole black, like I said, the thing is, if the whole Black Lives Matter, then I don't even want to, but it's about accountability. Mm-hmm. If you take accountability, if we stand up against all the stupid black on black crime, what we'll do is that it won't be no more room for cops on, you know what I'm saying? But see, now they just throw a cop killing in the whole pile of 50 that just died in Chicago. And nobody is picketing for that. Nobody. What a protest for King Von? You didn't see a protest for that. What a protest for Mo 3? Nobody protest for that, right?
Right.
That's why I say no true accountability.
Okay, so if you want to take accountability for black on black crime, it's us killing each other. So we don't value life then. That's to me. I see black people don't value each other's life because they'll shoot you when don't even ask questions first. They'll shoot you. So if they value life and respect some of the rules, they don't respect some of the rules. You know what? I just feel like they don't respect and they don't care. How you gonna help that situation if your own people don't care and value life?
Yes, and that's our problem. We need to discuss. That's why our whole society, the whole black community, is built on no accountability. We have no accountability for nothing.
Right.
I had a conversation with my daughter, right? And then, no, matter of fact, this went back to the movie I saw. And then I don't know if y'all how old y'all is, but y'all remember in the hood they used to make us wrap our books with this paper, like these book covers, right? So people wouldn't write up and stuff like that. I don't know if y'all experienced that or not.
Yeah, I
But
experienced that.
do that. They used to make us wrap our books, and so I saw that in the movie, and I was like, "Yeah, I used to do. Yeah, we used to do that right there. Like that's the first day of school when we get our books. We had to take these. It was almost like paper and stuff. We used to wrap our books up, and then there was a given. And then she said, "Oh, I don't experience that." But my daughter go to this little private white school. But I asked her this one question, and she was like, "I can't believe people go to school like that." I said, baby, it's not about the building because what I can do, I can take your teachers and the kids and put them in the school I went to, and that school will be fine. But I can take the kids that I was raised up with in my school and my teachers and put them in that nice school, and then I will give it a year and both schools will look alike. Your school will start getting cleaner. And it's not about the school system. I mean, the school, it's about the mentality of the kids.
Right.
Yeah, I know my teacher, you know what I'm saying? Every time they leave the classroom, they got to grab their pocketbooks. But see, we never have accountability to say, hey, do you see the stuff and the movie stated it too. The kid was like, you know what? This is the first time I went to a school where I didn't experience a fight. My daughter that. She said, I never seen a fight in my school, Dad. I used to see fights every day, 4, 5 of them. But see, we can sit here and blame everybody but ourselves. No accountability.
And we should hold ourselves accountable. So before we wrap up, hold on. Knowledge is coming up. Hi, Knowledge.
What's up? What's up, Knowledge? What's up?
Knowledge.
I'm gonna let you say your piece, and then what we're gonna do is what we usually do to end it out is we'll go around and everybody will say their final thoughts for the topic for tonight. So go ahead. Welcome to the stream, Knowledge. How are you?
Blessings. I'm doing good, Queen.
Oh, good. What would you like to add?
Yeah, I definitely like the topic. I definitely do. What I wanted to say was, what's his name? What yeah, the Dr. Bombay. And I like where he was coming from. You know what I mean? The thing is, I think what mostly the younger generation has a lot of how can I say it? They have their own opinions, and I don't have opinions, sometimes put money over morals. So back in my time, you had to respect your elders. You had to say yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. Yeah. You had to really be respectful because you not only represent yourself, but you represent your family. Whatever. Nowadays, it's like people are trying to be equal. Like male and female are fighting for equality. Like I'm equal to a man, and nose is where a lot of headbutts get involved. I think we forgot our roles as men and women. We got our roles, and and a lot of females is being masculine, and a lot of dudes is being feminine. You know what I mean? So when you looking for, if a female is looking for a man, she really has to dig for that now, because it comes with a lot, because it's based on social media, based on dressing, based on you got dudes that got weed now like females, man. So it's like, you really, it's a different time. So if you're an older person, then you know the essence of morals. But if you're younger, then mostly your attachment is money. So it's hard. It's hard. But I respect you, Doc, and everybody too. But I like Dr. He said a lot of knowledge for an older person, definitely.
Facts.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Nolly. Okay, so Real, what would you like to? What's your final thoughts on?
Final thought is just pertaining to the topic only, just pertaining to this topic. I just feel if women really do believe they are the leaders of the black community, they should be able to accept accountability and hold each other accountable, because that's part of being a leader. Is holding yourself accountable for what you do or don't do. That's it.
Okay, Dre.
Yeah, I think accountability has to be across gender and specifically in our culture. I think Logic had some really dope things to say about that. I think men do a better job in general with that, holding each other accountable and checking each other. We come from the school of thought where, we're going to, on the spot, we'll check somebody that needs to be checked. At least the men that I grew up with, the men that I grew up with, right, weren't afraid to tell somebody if they were wrong, real men. So, but I think that it benefits women to do the same for women, men to do the same for women, and for women to do the same for men. All right. I think as a culture, as a community, as black people, period. That's how we grow up, and we have to stop being so sensitive and stop thinking about the feelings of the person who's doing stupid stuff. Because if they're doing stupid stuff, then sometimes their feelings need to be hurt for them to really understand. It's not like you're not trying to hurt them, but like you're trying to tell them the truth. And if the truth hurts them, then that's not on you. You still tell the truth, period. It doesn't matter if you're male or female. So I just think that accountability got to go across the board. And I also feel, and it's just my opinion, and I'm a man, so me saying this probably won't hold too much weight. But I do feel that women as a whole, black women as a whole, would do much better if they were willing to hold each other accountable, even if they're in public spaces as well. That's it.
Okay.
I feel like black women hold each other accountable. We just choosing to do it in a way that men don't feel like we're holding them accountable. We might do it behind the scenes. And I just think everybody ain't gonna hear things in a way that people hear it. I mean, everybody's reacting to things different. And so my sisters that I talk to, we just gonna talk behind the scenes. And that's how we're gonna keep on doing it, whether anybody like it or not, period.
Mm-hmm. Dr. Bombay.
Is that with a T? Period. With a T at
period,
the end?
with a T. Okay.
Dr. Bombay, any final thoughts on the topic?
Oh, I thought you were going in a row. Yeah, final thought. I still stand with the whole group accountability thing. I think that solves the problem, because within the group are the women as well as the men. So it's not about right and wrong. To me, it's about what works and what does not work. I think what we used to do, although it wasn't perfect, it actually did work. And we didn't have these type of situations. Like I said, if we were doing, again, what worked, this discussion would not even exist. So that's my final take on that. Just fixing the group, you fix the problem. Getting back on code to that which we, used to hold dear, I think would be very helpful in this scenario. And i.e., again, that would actually fix the problem. That's just my opinion.
Okay. Robin?
I'm more so agreeing with Andrea. I'm going to stick with it. Women are going to continue to do as we do. Regarding Bombay, I would love to see Black people as a community and as male and female, like, do all the wonderful things you said. But in my honest opinion, I don't think that we're going to go back there. I think we're moving forward in another direction, unfortunately. I hope that it's positive. But I really don't think that it's going in that direction. And I don't think there's a way to fix it.
Knowledge is key. Any final thoughts?
All right. Just how can a man that was never showed how to express himself, was never showed how to be emotional, never was taught how to communicate? Those things are very important in relationships. Now those things are not valuable. Now it's about how you look with the person. These are the problems younger guys like myself be having. And sometimes when we go to people information, it comes off old. It come off like an Al Green song. It don't come off with no new flavor, right? So a lot of dudes and some females be like, man, you ain't my mom, you ain't my dad, because it comes off like something an older person would say. So we judge the messenger instead of listening to the message, right? Mm-hmm. So I think we're losing that. We're losing the message because we're judging the messenger so much. So for me, this is the thing. How can you get a man that's not communicating, that's not emotional, that maybe not in tune with his feelings, maybe doesn't cry as much? What information can we give to those men that's having a whole bunch of these problems that'll let 1 minute get them 18 years of pain, right? So how can we lift those up so we can have more kings instead of pawns? Because I think females is only, I don't care what female it is, a female is born to be submissive to the right man. It don't matter who it is. It just has to be the right man. She's not going to be submissive to any man because she's not built that way, designed that way. But I think we're stopped being designed to be built for females, and we're built to be for men. And I think females are being more, they're looking for another female opinion instead of respecting a man's. So we forgot who we are. We forgot, like, I'm designed to be with you. I'm not designed to be with a man. You're designed to be with a man. You're not designed to be with a girl. But we lose that because we got free will. I can do what I want. You can do what you want. And by us having that mentality, it's like it's stuff that comes with that. So that's what's scary for our new generation. I gotta go back to my blunt. Sorry,
Okay. Shanika.
Go ahead, Evelyn.
You know who you remind me of? Real Talk 87.
Who do I remind you of?
You remind me of Larry the Lobster. So,
Hell no, she didn't. My bad. Go ahead, dog. Go ahead.
My final thought is that women hold themselves or hold other women accountable in public and as in private. Just because the men do not see it does not mean we do not do it. Just the same as for men, they say they hold each other accountable. I don't always see it, but doesn't mean that they don't do it.
So, V, can I say something before you say whatever you got to say?
No, you had a final thought. That means you're done talking.
No, I
Sound like
gotta.
you was on a
This is
roll.
off.
Shanita.
It's off topic.
No.
It's off
Sure, 'cause
topic.
I'm
Well, hold on.
back up.
Nita, that's not nice, Nita.
That
it's
look,
off topic.
we're already getting somewhere. Robert's holding
Be
her sister
nice.
accountable. Look at that. They learned something.
I did that
You're
just for
right,
you guys.
Robin. I should take that back. But I
Yeah,
won't.
I think that's a good idea.
Oh, look at that. We're getting somewhere, ladies.
Am I learning, guys? Is that
Yes,
what you
yes.
want?
Right.
That's what they want publicly.
We have to write publicly. So
I guess I gotta do more than that.
V, can I say something real quick?
What'd you see?
A rat? She got a rat in the house.
No, she got a brand new house. Okay. She got a brand new house. Ain't none of that in there.
But no, can I?
I just gave myself an electric. I gave myself
Are you okay?
an electric shock.
Oh my
Is that
God.
why you froze?
Can I say something real quick though, V?
Oh my God.
I need her to say yes before I say it.
She froze though, so
Froze
just say it.
Oh,
Say it.
okay. So let me say this, and hopefully she come back and answer. So she's been doing these polls on who they think won the battle, and every week she ain't been coming back with the results, even though I know the results. So I want V to come out and say who's won the last two in battle of the sexes. I'm just saying.
Who won?
I'm just saying. She'll tell you if she's honest with herself, because I know who won.
V said her
If
battery died.
she's honest with herself, she'll let us know. I'm just saying.
She'll be back.
Oh, okay, she'll be back. She'll be back, and hopefully she answer that question though.
Why is that so important to you, Real?
It's not important. No, it's not important to me. All I'm saying is there was a poll done, and the whole purpose of the poll was for her to come back the next week and announce who won, and she ain't been doing that.
Although she's never
guaranteed,
done that.
because you know why? Do you know why though? Do you know why she had no? Do you know why she hasn't done it? Because the women have not won yet since she's done it. That's why she's never came back and said
Because
about
the
it.
men are voting and the women are not voting.
Stop it.
That's the women are not voting.
That's a lie. That's a lie. There are women who have commented. There's women who have commented and said they voted for the men. So what are you talking about?
Here's the thing. Real is just holding his sister accountable. The question was, how come you have not shared the results of the poll that you've been posting?
But she has not shared even when the women has won.
Yeah, we don't care.
The women haven't won. No, listen, no. Ever since she's done these polls, the women have not won at all. That's what I'm saying. The women have never won. That's the whole thing.
What's your point? I thought the point of the battle of the sexes is to have the conversation and not the who.
It is to have Andrea. We've had this conversation behind closed doors. Logic came up with the idea for V to come up with these polls and to announce it on the next show. She's never done that, and that's because the women have not won on those polls. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so what's your point?
Yeah, I'm trying to. What's the point? What's the point of this conversation right now?
My point is for y'all anyway is for V to answer, not for y'all to have y'all's input on it anyway.
Here,
V's in the chat. She said what you wanted her to say. All right.
What did V say? Because I can't even see the chat. Hold on, let me pull up the chat real quick.
Okay, yeah, that's real. So that's what she said. She said
the men last week.
I'm going to head off, guys. Everybody have a good night.
Bye, Harrison. Good night.
Bye, family. Harrison Family Vlogs.
I don't know what V wants us to do. Does she want to come and close it, or does she want us to just end it?
Hey, yo, real talk.
I don't know, because we ended.
I think she's trying to log back on, maybe.
Now I'm asking you a question, right? Real talk. Do you think females are smarter than men?
Smarter? I don't think it's a sex thing. I just think it's an individual thing, to be honest with you.
Do you think if you had females in a room and you based on like just say common sense or whatever, do you think females are more smarter than men?
I wouldn't say that, because I think for the most part,
You had a daughter and a son and you see them evolve. Would you say that your son will at 13, 14 be still headbutting the tree? or would you say your 12 and 13-year-old daughter be still doing the same thing?
Here's what I'm gonna say about this. I say if I have, let's say I have twins, a son and a daughter, they're both twins. I think the daughter she'll mature faster than he will. But as far as decision making and everything goes, I think the son will be more advanced when it comes to that, because I think men, for the most part, uses their logic more than women do. But as far as maturity goes, I think women are more they mature faster than men do. Let me say that.
So do you think a female can hold a house down more organized than a man could? Now
More
anybody
organized? Yeah, I can say that.
Yeah. So can a female cook grits and take care of her baby at once? Like she could be cooking grits and holding a baby at once.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Hey, I can't say that about women. Women are more that they can do a whole lot of things at once more than a man can. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
So now we see all these things. We just acknowledge that all these queens can do, right? Why is that we can't give them that credit though?
What's that?
Now, why don't females get that credit?
Why don't they get that credit?
Now, we'll look at females based on how you look at females, based on how you treat them. So if you look at a female like a queen, then you won't treat her like a big, because you look at her in a different standard, right? So if we looked at females as more of a queen or a more goddess or a more
knowledge. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but do you think every woman is a queen?
No.
Okay.
I was going to say, because I don't look at all women as queens. I don't do that.
I'm just asking because we're being real. So
every man and a king.
Yeah, it's true.
But what I can say is, you can be a hell of a pawn. you don't have to be that position to feel like something. Just knowing your position is enough. So I think a lot of females be trying to be a queen, knowing they can't be. A lot of dudes want to be kings, knowing that don't fit them, and we get sidetracked on our position. So I think if we had more value for a female, and females have more value for men, I think we will understand each other more. But I hear a lot of females be like, they call dudes N-words, and they call each other B's, B-words, but then want to be respected as a queen. It's like wearing fake makeup, but then say you want a real dude. You see what I'm saying? It's like, you know what I mean? I think we're losing that though. We're losing that, and that's the sad part.
I agree with you. Yeah, I agree with you. And I say that because I don't like you just said. I don't think all women are queens. It's like I don't think all men are kings. Like if you treat yourself like a queen or a king, that's how you're gonna be treated. You see what I'm saying? You get treated how you act for the most part. So I definitely agree with you, bro.
Knowledge is key. You said it's like wearing fake makeup and wanting a real man.
Yeah, I just don't get that.
What?
What do makeup got to do with how real you are?
That's just nice. Wanting a real man.
You walked right into that knowledge. I'm sorry. I mean, I walked right into it.
I'm just being honest.
Meaning, you gotta.
I'm saying what do makeup have to do who you are and what you're about? That's bullshit. And I'm so tired of men talking about that.
Hey, Andrea, calm down. Calm down.
I hate to hear that. I have a passion because it's ridiculous to say that. What makeup got to do who I am? Who said that? It grow up.
Makeup. See, this is the thing. To put on. It's like you don't jewelry on because it's for a certain event. So when you go outside, you put your jewelry on, you put your outfit on. When you go home, you take your outfit off. But some people don't know when to take it off.
Okay, then didn't say that then, because makeup is it's almost like it's playing house. Okay, you just put it on and you want to be beautiful and you take it off.
It's an art.
Who you are, what you about, you care about your family, you're a loving mother, you're a loving father. It don't matter. Stop saying that.
Andre,
it's ridiculous. It's appropriate. It's like we are too old to talk about some makeup. We're 46, 47, 50. Get over that.
Andrea, but listen. Okay, Andrea, just like, okay, we're too old to be talking about that, but at the same time, you're too old to be wearing that.
What?
Yeah. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Why did you say that?
Okay, what we doing?
Hey, I know how to push the buttons. I'm just saying, I know how to do it.
I'm gonna get you real
Wow.
Kevin. I'm gonna get you.
My bad.
Okay, guys, sorry about that.
Okay,
My
Peter.
battery died, and the life doesn't die when the battery dies. So, I just wanted to say thank you to everybody that came to hang out with us. Thank you for all your comments in the chat. You guys are amazing. We appreciate you guys. We couldn't do this show without you all, and for all of your feedback and your comments. It makes the show what it is. So I just want to say thank you to everybody in the chat. I want to say thank you to my amazing and wonderful panel members that are here each and every week. You guys rock. I love you guys. I believe that women do hold women accountable. I think that it's just not done in the way that men would appreciate or would want it to be done. But how about we just hold ourselves accountable for our own actions? Then we won't have to argue with anyone, and we can all do what we need to do for ourselves and do the inner work there. So that's my final thoughts of this week's Battle of the Sexes. Guys, don't forget to check. If you guys haven't already, please hit those thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to my channel, then please make sure you do and hit that bell so that you do not miss another Battle of the Sexes each and every week. And your recap will be with you tomorrow, guys. So look out for that tomorrow for the recap of today's show. Thank you, and Family Vlogs. I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much. Hope everybody has a good holiday tomorrow. Enjoy the day off from work, and I will see you all next week. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.